Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Tax refund is the hot topic these days given what's going on. If you are wondering tax refund, the delays and uncertainty as to when you will receive your refund, then you want to watch this video. Let's dive into a topic that's on a lot of minds right now, tax refunds. If you've already filed your taxes and are still waiting for that deposit to hit your account, you're definitely not alone. Many taxpayers are experiencing delays, and the big question is, why? What's happening with the IRS, and when can you expect to see your refund? For many, this isn't just a minor inconvenience. Your tax refund might be money you're depending on, whether it's for rent, bills, groceries, or just catching up on everyday expenses. So, if you've been refreshing the Where's My Refund tool daily and still seeing no update, yeah, that can be frustrating. What makes things even more confusing is that while some people have already received their refunds, others who filed around the same time are still waiting. So today, let's break it all down. What's happening behind the scenes at the IRS? Why are some refunds delayed while others aren't? What do those IRS transcript codes actually mean? What can you do if your refund is taking longer than expected? I'll also share some tips on tracking your refund status and avoiding common mistakes that could slow things down even more. Before we dive in, if you find this helpful, consider subscribing. I break down personal finance in a way that's clear, practical, and easy to follow, helping you stay ahead of your money. Now let's get into it. Why are refunds delayed? One of the biggest reasons for delays right now is the PATH Act Protecting Americans from Tax Hikes Act. If you claim the Earned Income Tax Credit EITC or the Additional Child Tax Credit ACTC, your refund is legally held back every year to prevent fraud. Even if everything in your return is perfectly accurate and processed, the IRS cannot release these refunds before mid-February. This year, the hold lifted on February 17th. But that doesn't mean refunds magically appeared in people's accounts that day. The IRS processes refunds in waves, not all at once. So, while some people receive their money as early as February 20th, others are still waiting. Let me share details about the IRS processing cycle. Another key reason for delays is something called processing cycles. The IRS doesn't handle every return on the same timeline. Some refunds are processed in a daily cycle, while others fall into a weekly cycle. If your return is in the daily cycle, your refund updates more frequently, and you'll likely get your money faster. If you're in the weekly cycle, also known as cycle code 05, your refund status updates only once a week, usually on Thursdays. That means if your refund wasn't approved in the first round, you might not see any movement until February 22nd or later. This is why someone who filed after you may already have their refund while you're still waiting. It's not just about when you filed, but which processing batch you're in. Cutoff times also matter. If your return was processed later in the day, it may have missed that day's batch and rolled over to the next scheduled update. Now let's understand IRS transcript codes. What do they mean? Checking your IRS transcript can give you a behind-the-scenes look at where your refund stands. But what do all those codes mean? Code 846. Refund issued. If you see this, good news, your money is on the way. Code 570. Additional account action pending. This means the IRS is reviewing something before approving your refund. It's not always bad news, but could indicate they need to verify income, tax credits, or potential offsets. Code 971. Notice issued. If you see this, check your mail. The IRS has sent a letter about your return. Your refund may be on hold until you respond. Code 810. Refund frozen. This usually happens due to identity verification issues. If this happens, the IRS will send you a letter asking you to confirm your identity before releasing your refund. Let's talk about what are tax offsets. Why was my refund reduced? If your refund was lower than expected or completely taken, it might have been offset to cover an outstanding debt. The IRS can automatically apply your refund to: Number 1. Unpaid federal or state taxes. Number 2. Child support payments. Number 3. Defaulted student loans. If this happens, you should receive a notice explaining where your money went. Keep in mind, the IRS doesn't control these offsets. They simply process them. If you believe the offset was a mistake, you'll need to contact the agency that issued the debt, e.g., Department of Education for student loans, or Freets allowed to hear. How banks affect your refund timing. It is very important to understand as well. Even after the IRS sends your refund, how fast you actually receive it depends on your bank. Some online banks like Chime and credit unions process direct deposits quickly, sometimes even releasing funds early. Larger traditional banks often hold IRS deposits until the official refund date, which can cause additional delays. If you see others getting their money early, but yours hasn't arrived yet, it could be due to how your bank handles IRS deposits. What can you do if you're still waiting? Don't refresh the Where's My Refund tool constantly. It only updates once every 24 hours, usually overnight, so checking multiple times a day won't change anything. Check your IRS transcript if you haven't already. This will give you way more detail than the Where's My Refund tool. Look for code 846, or if your refund is delayed, check for codes 570 or 971 to see what's causing the holdup. If your refund is delayed beyond the expected time frame and there are no updates, you may need to call the IRS. Be warned, getting through to an actual person can be difficult, especially during tax season. But if weeks have passed with no movement, sometimes calling is the only way to get answers. The bottom line is this. If you're still waiting on your refund, be patient, but stay informed. The IRS is working through a huge backlog, and most people will see their refunds between February 23rd and March 1st. If you're in the weekly processing cycle and don't see an update by February 22nd, you're likely looking at early March before your refund arrives. If your return is flagged for review, identity verification, or holds, your wait time could be even longer. I know waiting on a refund can be stressful, especially if you need that money. If you're still stuck and have questions, drop them in the comments. I try to answer as many as I can, and others often share their experiences too, which can be really helpful. We're committed to bringing you the latest and greatest information to help you navigate benefits with confidence. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe to support our channel. Your engagement helps us continue providing valuable content to empower you with the knowledge you need. Thanks for joining me today. Take care, and see you next time.